Hi, second graders, and welcome back to another day of skills. Just a reminder, I am Miss Catrone from Citizenship Academy. So as you guys know, we are in Skills Unit 4, and we are on Lesson 5 today. We are making such good progress. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we are going to get started with our learning targets of the day. As I've said in the past, it's so good when we make goals for ourselves so we know what our goal is for this lesson. What are we trying to learn by the end of it? First thing, one of my first targets says, I can complete my spelling assessment. What that means is that for the first part of your Google form today, I'm going to be giving you your spelling test. Now you guys have had your words all week, so you should have been practicing, and this will be a breeze. Learning target number 2. I can read words with a new spelling for the I sound. That makes me think that today we're going to be learning a new spelling for my I sound, and we're going to be practicing reading those words. Lastly, my learning target 3 says, I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story Dwight's Lights. Sounds like we're going to be reading a story today as well. Okay, so like I mentioned, today is our spelling test, but we don't have to worry about that yet. I'm going to give that to you in a Google form at the end of the lesson. Okay. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be learning a new spelling for the I sound. So we're going to start first by practicing saying the I sound. I'll say it and then it'll be your turn. I. Awesome job. Now we've learned a couple ways to spell this sound. We've learned it with I magic E, I all by itself, and IE. Those are the ones we've learned so far. Today we're going to be learning a new one, and that is IGH. When you see IGH together, it's going to say the I sound. Okay, so we're going to be able to add these leaves to our I branches today. The word light, night, fight, bright, high, sight, and fright. Now all of those would go, oops, daisies. Let me see if I can, my face. All of those would go with our IGH because they all have this IGH sound in the middle of them. Okay, so here I see my vowel card. I see IGH like in the word, says I like in the word night. Now if I look at my power bar here, I see that it's really small. I don't see this one that often, but it's still great to learn so that when we come across this word when we're reading or we're writing, we know how to say that I sound. Okay, I have a question for you guys. Which of the spellings that we have learned for the I sound is the most common? That means which one do I see the most? Is it I magic E, IE, or IGH? Now remember, I find out how common it is by how long the power bar is. What are you guys thinking? It's definitely just I by itself. Look how long that power bar is. So this is how I'll see the I sound spelled most often when I'm reading and when I'm writing. Most often I'll see it spelled like this. Alrighty, so here I see IGH spelled, says I like in the word night. All right, now we're gonna practice reading some words together with that I sound. Okay, so I just learned that when IGH are together, they say I. Like in the word I, hi. I can tap that out. I, hi. Or here I have I, sigh. Here I have light, 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 light. And here I have might. Now I have night. Your turn. Good job. Now, can you try to tap this one out? Right. Good job. Right. Alrighty, great job practicing those spellings. You guys did so good reading all those new words. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is part of your Google form today, we'll be practicing synonyms and antonyms. So I thought I would grab the help of my friends, Annie and Moby, and we are going to do a little review of our synonyms and antonyms together. Here we go. Alrighty, guys. So just a reminder that a synonym, I think of synonym, same. Synonym means the same, antonym means the opposite. So we're going to have a chance to practice that and practice some of our new I words later on our Google form. Alrighty, so the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna read the next short story about Kim and Kurt and her job hunt. So we're going to be reading today Dwight's Lights. Now, I look here, I spy IGH, which gives me that I sound. So Dwight's Lights. Dwight's Lights. That's a great chance for you to practice those I sounds. Okay, remember what we read before is that Kim is hunting for a job. and her brother Kurt is going along with her as she searches for her job. Now, remind me, have they made it anywhere to look for a job yet? No, they've gotten a little bit distracted. If you guys remember last time, as they were starting her job search, they didn't make it very far because she and Kurt stopped to listen to the drummers in Drummers Cove. Now, if you remember, Drummers Cove is a special place in Prospect Park, which is located in Brooklyn, New York. That's where all the drummers hang out and practice. Okay, so today we're gonna read a story called Dwight's Lights, in which Kim starts her job search in earnest. That means that she's starting it for real this time. So I am going to pause this quickly while I pull up our story. Okay, so the first thing it asks us to do is look for our table of contents. So if I look for my table of contents, I've arrived here. Remember, the table of contents is a tool that helps us find where the stories are in the book. So if I scroll down, we've read Morning, we've read Brooklyn, and we've read Drummers Cove. The next one is Dwight's Lights. Now I'm going to follow that all the way over and find that it's on page 28. So I'm going to scroll down until I land on page 28. There we are. Now here's a couple things I want you to do while we read together. I'm going to be reading out loud, and I want you to be following along with your finger. I also want you to read along with me when you can. Alrighty? Let's get started. Dwight's Lights. Kim and Kurt walked down the street. Kurt stopped to look at a poster. Kim yanked on his arm. "Let's go," she said. "We can't stop till I find myself a job." Ooh, here I see that Kim used an exclamation point. That means she's saying it with excitement, or she's yelling it. She's yelling at him, we cannot stop until I find a job. Now, as I'm reading, I also notice these quotation marks. Remember, we've learned that quotation marks is when someone's actually saying something. All right, let's jump back into our reading. Kim spotted the poster. It was hanging in a shop named Dwight's Lights. In big, bold letters, it said, "Dwight is hiring." Kim led Kurt into the shop. Inside the shop, there were hundreds of lights and lamps, and all of them were on. "Yikes," said Kurt. "It's bright in here." All right, I spot that exclamation point again, which means he's saying it with excitement or he's yelling it. I also see some quotation marks. Okay, here's my picture clue. There is in the bold lettering, "Dwight is hiring," all the lights. Just then, a man came charging up. He had a big smile and a necktie with a light bulb on it. He started shouting at Kim and Kurt. "Yes," said the man, "it's bright at Dwight's Lights. In fact, it's never night at Dwight's Lights. Dwight likes it bright. I'm Dwight. Yes, I'm the man of light. Dwight's got big lights. Dwight's got small lights. Dwight's got tall lights. Dwight's got short lights. Dwight's got bright lights and brighter lights. Dwight's got lights that shut off when you clap your hands. Dwight sells all kinds of light, except sunlight. Har, har, har." All right, in that big speech that Dwight just gave, I saw a lot of my new I words. I want you to take a moment and see if you can spot them all. Let's see. Bright, Dwight, light, all of those have that IGH saying the I sound. All right, let's jump back into our story. The man seemed to think this was the best joke of all time, but still he did not stop shouting. "Yes, Dwight's lights are out of sight, and Dwight's price is without fail the right price. So don't think twice, get a light at Dwight's. Yes, miss, if you need a lamp or a light for your dorm room, you came to the right place. It's Dwight's place." All right, again, I see so many of my new I words in that little speech he's giving. Here he is, he looks so excited. Everything he says ended in an exclamation point because he's yelling it with excitement. All right, jumping down to the next page. At last, the man stopped for a gulp of air. Said Kim, I don't need a light. I just need a job. I saw the poster outside. Are you still hiring? When Kim said, I don't need a light, the man's face fell and he let out a sigh. Job, he said, shifting into a quiet voice. We filled the job. Is the poster still up? He looked at the poster. We should have taken this poster down, he said. The job opening was filled last week. Then he walked off. Kim and Kurt went back out. Kim, said Kurt, Dwight was an odd man. Indeed he was, said Kim. Kurt did a bit of thinking. Then he said, I think perhaps it's best that you did not get that job. I think you might be right, said Kim. Alrighty guys, that is the end of our story about Dwight's lights. Why do you guys think that Kurt thought he was kind of odd? I think Kurt might have been right. He was kind of odd. Alrighty. All right, so now we're going to be looking at some questions together. Okay. Alrighty. So what sort of place is Dwight's lights? What sort of place is Dwight's lights? What kind of store are they? What do they do there? Yeah, they sell lights, all sorts of lights. Tall lights, short lights, bright lights, all kinds of lights. Why do you think Dwight has all of the lights in his store turned on? Why do you think he might have all the lights in his store turned on? Perhaps he's trying to show everybody all the lights and how well they work, how bright they are, how awesome they are. Okay. If you were to describe Dwight's personality, what do you think he's like? How would you describe Dwight's personality? Maybe he's super hyper, he's super energetic, he's really loud. Those are all describing or adjectives I would use to describe Dwight. All right. So in the story, after Kim said that she didn't need a light or a lamp, it said that Dwight's face fell. Does that mean it fell off his face onto the floor? What does that mean? What does it mean to say Dwight's face fell? Well, if you remember, he was so excited about selling her a lamp, a light. He was so excited. His face was so big and bright and shiny. And then she said she didn't need a lamp. And he kind of lost all his excitement. That's what they mean by his face fell. All right. Did Kim get the job at Dwight's Lights? No. Why didn't she get the job? Why didn't she get the job? Yeah, they had already filled that position for that job. So they were no longer hiring. The poster was left up, but he didn't actually need a worker or an employee. Okay, that is the end of our lesson. But before we go, we're going to go over our learning targets. So let's just check them off. Did we do these things? Let me get my marker ready. Alrighty, here we go. Like this one. I can complete my spelling assessment. We can't check that one off because that's going to be later in your Google form. Next one. I can read words with the new spelling for the I sound. We read all those new words like might and bright and light and Dwight. Check. All right. I can ask and answer questions about key details in the story Dwight's Lights. I'd say we definitely did that. We just asked and answered all of our questions. Alrighty, my friends. Well, that is the end of our lesson. Don't forget to go do your Google form because that's how you get credit for being here today. So we can count you for attendance. Make sure you go do your Google form. As always, I know that there's office hours if you have any questions, and we're here to help. It was so great doing this lesson, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.